Are you all set to go?
Yes, I'm rocking.
Miss Ora, Miss Reed?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Well, it's 2:00, so I'll call to order the Wednesday, November 18, 2020 meeting of the Glynn County Board of Commissioners Pension Committee being live streamed on YouTube. Item number 1 is to approve the minutes of August 12. Ms. Ora, were there any issues at all with the minutes that we needed to hear about before we take a motion?
No, sir, there were no issues with the minutes.
Okay. Have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Okay, so Commissioner Murphy, we may need to take a roll call vote because we have employees on the committee also, as Mr. Hours and Tamara Munson are also on the committee.
So do you want every issue to have a roll call vote?
If that's your pleasure, but I didn't know if we wanted to do that or not.
Do we need to ascertain whether or not we have a quorum to start the meeting?
We have a quorum.
Okay.
We've got 5 with you 3 and me and Mr. Hours. I can't see who else is on because I have the screen up.
Okay. I'm happy with voice votes by all,
Okay.
including, all the participants. We can take a yay or a nay on everyone, Ora, if that would satisfy the need. What do you think?
Yes, that'll be fine.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so we had a bunch of yays on the meeting. Were there any nays? None being heard, we'll move on to item number 2, which is the portfolio report of Mr. David Kelly of Bowen Haynes and Company. Mr. Kelly, are you with us?
Yes, I'm right here.
Great, you're on. You have it.
Okay, I was going to try to share my screen. Can I try that, Ora, or?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and try.
All right. Does anybody see that?
Nope,
Excuse me?
I don't see it.
I don't either.
I see you down in the bottom right corner, but that's
Yeah,
it.
I'm here. Let's see. I clicked on that.
Let me see if I stop sharing.
Hold
my
on.
share.
Show conversation.
Try sharing now.
Okay.
There you go.
We can see everybody's picture, but I can't really see your screen yet, David.
No, you don't see that portfolio? I'm scrolling it.
No.
Ora, can you share it? I've sent you the email.
Yeah, just a second.
While we're getting that up, for those of you that may not have read Mr. Kelly's summary and investment conclusion of October 2nd, 2020, very, very well written, very stimulating, and I particularly liked his use of the word obsequiousness
Yeah.
in an economic circumstance. That sort of got me, David. I like that one. So
We try to throw a few. We have to look those words up ourselves.
I didn't say I had to
using
look
big
it up.
words down here in the
I had to
South.
look it up.
That's right.
You have to have a dictionary.
Well, great report though. Great summary though. I really enjoyed it.
All right, thanks. Let me. I'm gonna go get Jennifer and see if I can get her to help me share the screen. I'm sorry to hold things up. I have the document, but I can't figure out how to share it.
All right, is this okay?
Jennifer, I think I got it. Let's see if I can.
Okay, let's see. Is it open share tray? Could that be it?
I think I've got it.
Sure, okay. Let me
Does
know.
everyone see that?
Sure.
Does
We
everyone
can't
see that?
it. No, ma'am. We can't see it yet.
No.
Can't see it yet.
Screen share, you got it right there.
Can you guys see that? You can see that?
Nope.
No?
No, ma'am.
Oh.
Ma'am.
Is it screen? Desktop window.
More actions. Sure.
There,
There we go.
Nope.
Is that it?
that's it.
We just had it for a second.
Couldn't have been me. Oh, I didn't open it. That's bizarre because I didn't open it.
Well.
You still see it, Peter?
I do not.
Okay, guys,
Oh,
is that-
I don't either. Yeah, mine was just there, like, I guess.
I'll say hit share maybe.
Okay, application. Ah, boom, guys. Boom, guys.
Put in.
There we go.
Can you guys see that?
I
Yes.
can barely see it. It's awful small.
We've got a terrible echo.
Okay. I tell you what, you want me to just go ahead and I'll just wing it without,
No, we've got it, David. David, it's up.
okay.
Uh,
So you're looking at the 12.5 right there? My
Yes,
correct?
sir.
Yes.
do.
Okay. All right.
There you go. That's better.
All right, so we're there. Okay, so this is evaluation through November 16th, so on Monday. And so here we are at 12.5%, 16 and change versus our stocks, S&P 14, our fixed income 5, index 7, and then a balanced index of about 11. So that all equates to $119 million in dollars. And boy, we come a long way. I hate to go back to March 23rd, but we were down to $87 million off 19%. And now here we are up 12.5. So I'm not going to say that again in any other meeting because that's behind us. But you can see in dollar terms, we started with 108 million. What we owned is appreciated and gone up 11.2. We've received interest and dividends of $1.9 million. This is year to date. So that's about 13.17 million to the good. So money's been deposited, and then 6.4 has been withdrawn. So that balances out to $119 million. And you can see since we were hired 20 some months ago, we started 93 million. Money's come in and out to the tune of 5.5 million. But again, the appreciation is $31 million. So that's all to the good.
Sorry about that.
Our snapshot for the portfolio is, I think the most noticeable thing is we have a really, really good number, but also I'm sitting on 9.2% cash. I'm sitting on 10 million in cash. The market's ramped up. I've had to sell pieces. We've had bonds mature, and I've just not recast that money out. Notice I'm a little bit over my stock allocation. 65% is my top collar.
It's beyond.
I'm a little all over.
Trying to cut it down. Yeah, I'm a little early. I'm supposed to be on 250.
Can y'all hear me? Hello?
Yeah, Ed,
We can hear
I
you.
mean, David, we're hearing you great. I think everybody that's also on the call needs to mute their microphones while David is speaking. I think we're getting a little crosstalk there. So if everybody could just go ahead and mute until you have something to say. Thank you.
Okay. So I've got a little, I'm at 66.6, but that's the good, that's for the good reason. It's because the market really ramped up here in the last few days. So it kind of spilled over my 65. As far as holdings go, I still have just really investment grade bonds. I have not put any money to work really since the last we spoke. Maybe I bought one bond. The 10-year treasury's gone from 0.65 to about 0.9 in the last few weeks. Pre-COVID, the 10-year treasury was at 1.5. I just feel like it's going to leak up a little more. I just hate to put the money to work right now. So I'm only going to sit tight a little bit. So it's nice to have a good return, and I'm sitting on a fair amount of cash. 9% cash is very high for us. As far as holdings go, I've only made just a couple of minor changes. And what we talked about last time was, our COVID stocks, all the scientific, medical category and the big tech has really, really done well for us. This Thermo Fisher has just been a world beater. They're in that scientific instrumentation consumable business. They service every big pharma and every lab in the world. And they've just had a great run. This big tech of PayPal, Visa, Apple, and then the next page, Adobe, Intuit, Microsoft. What's been the big winners? It's computing power, internet power, services, software. And that's been really a great package. And it's really powered the portfolio. You can see they're all large positions. They've all run up. I mean, look at Adobe. We had 1.1 million in it. It's 2.3. Intuit's done great. Microsoft, just on and on. So the question is, when do we get off those names? And we've just started to move a little bit. And if you're really watching the market, you may have noticed this. The rotations has happened a couple of times in the last month. Big tech has been off 1% or 2%, and then materials, industrials, and financials have been up 1% or 2%. So it has also seesaw back a little bit every couple of days because of COVID. A lot of people just aren't quite sure whether the economy is really going to be on sure footing and whether the COVID is kind of behind us with these couple of vaccines. So we've dipped our toe in here with International Paper. It's kind of the newest name. So we are ourselves peeling back some of the big tech stuff we've won with, and we're trying to go with something that's a little more cyclical, more value oriented. And International Paper is really kind of our first pick. It's a great dividend yielder of 4.1%. Bought at 46, and I think today it's just cracked over 50 and hit a 52-week high yesterday at 50.33. So we're up 4 points on that name. It's really not really a game, but the timing is everything. I mean, we don't want to really roll out of our great winners too early, and we don't want to get into some of these names that if the green shoots of the economy aren't recovering, they're not going to do very well. Actually, they've done extremely poorly over the last couple of years. So that over the coming months and quarters, you'll probably see us work off the big tech and into some more in materials, industrials, and financials as the economy gets stronger footing and COVID gets behind us. I added this little sheet. There are a lot of numbers on here, but let me just kind of walk you through this. Then going back a little bit, this is as of September 30. This is a Investment Metrics, is a data analytics firm. They collect information and they have a database of 500 plus pension plans. And so they track the performance of pension plans, and we pay to be in this service. So I had them put your data in. And so Glynn County, these are the returns year to date through September. 9.16 is what we did. And then for 21 months, since we've been together at Bowen Haynes, we've done 16.26 for 21 months. There are 522 pension plans, public pension plans countrywide in this database for the first 9 months of this year. And the average plan did 2.38 and we did 9, puts us in the second percentile. So in other words, only 10 pension plans in this database did better than Glynn County. We stretched it out 21 months, our entire relationship through September. We did 16.26. The average plan did 11. We're 500 basis points over the average band. Again, we're in the second percentile of all pension plans, 512. So again, we beat 500 other plans. Now, the plans in this database, the smallest plan is $20 million. The largest is $120 billion. And the median plan is $100 million. So a lot of these are really big plans scattered across the country. And you can see that that's a good grade. It's not always going to be that way. I'm going to be out of favor over quarters and a year or so, but our first 21 months together, we really couldn't have done much better. And you can see amongst our peers, that's what the data is showing us. So it's just a nice little report card for our performance and how we've done compared to other public plans in the country. So final comments, just looking forward. We talked a little bit about the election last quarter, and the least probable thing that we had on our scorecard happened, and that is gridlock. We didn't expect gridlock. We had that the lowest probability. The market likes gridlock. The market likes no change for now, and so I think that's a good thing. We're gonna need change long term to keep this economy going, but for now in the short term, there's a lot of money that was on the sidelines. There's a lot of money back in the market. Interest rates are lifting a little bit. Earnings are pretty good, so it's a kind of a nice rosy scenario. A lot of money chasing the stock market. We actually raised a little bit of cash just from a few days, and then we put it all back to work. So we got super defensive there for a few days last month, but went ahead and put it back to work, and so it didn't cost us much. So to us, the big play is this rotation. You know, how and when do we move out, and what are the signals we're going to look for to move out of some of the Apples and the Microsofts of the world and do stuff like railroads and materials, you know, like a Vulcan material or something like that. So we've dipped our toe with International Paper, and we'll just monitor and see how we go. With that, any questions or comments?
Another fabulous report, David. Keep it up. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Kelly on anything specific in this report?
No, sir. Excellent report.
Just looking real good to me.
Okay.
Yeah. You've established a performance record, David, that we need you to keep riding that horse.
I knew that was coming. That always happens. I agree. Yes. I was the kind of kid that only showed his parents an A in his class, and they could never figure out why I only made B's. I always showed them the A work. I made plenty of C's. So anyway, you're right. We're off to a good start, and I hope we can keep it going every so often.
A+ here. Thank you very much. Excellent report.
All right, I'll click that off.
So, Ms. Ora, is this an action item in any fashion, or is this just for information?
It's just informational purposes.
Very good.
Okay, David, can you end your share? There we go.
I just clicked it. Yep.
All right, thank you.
Excellent. Okay. Well, if nobody has any questions of Mr. Kelly, we'll move to number 3, which is Mr. Ed Emerson to consider amending the defined benefit pension plan regarding the closing of the plan and the implementation of a defined contribution plan. Ed, you're on.
Okay, I'm on. Sorry about the interruption earlier, joining late and all, but for those of you who don't know, the Board of Commissioners has approved this this in concept. So this is now being formalized into plan amendments. And for the pension plan, what we have is a closing of the plan to new hires. So anyone hired on or after November 1, 2020, and anybody who was formerly at Glynn County but was not employed and is not currently employed but is rehired on or after November 1, 2020 will not go back into the pension plan. Instead, they are going to go into a new defined contribution plan that is being set up for them. Part of the process, and we've talked about this before, is that current participants who are not vested will have an opportunity to transfer over to the defined contribution plan. And if somebody elects a transfer, and currently right now, multi meetings are being handled, set up for participants to educate them and help them make a choice here. But anybody who's not vested has a choice to move over to DC plan. And if that happens, there'd be a transfer amount. There'd be an amount determined under the defined benefit pension plan that would be transferred over to their account under the defined contribution plan as kind of a seed money to start their benefit under that new plan. And as you know, NIHART is heavily involved in those calculations and also the communications with participants. So what this amendment does is this formalize all of this for our pension plan document. And what this body would do is recommend approval of this amendment to the pension plan to the Board of Commissioners to approve at their next meeting. And it will go in the queue there at the Board of Commissioners, I guess, for a reading and a first reading and a second reading.
So Ed, let me ask you, is this sort of in alignment of all the issues we've talked about in this group before? Nothing new, nothing different, no new.
There's nothing new, nothing different. The first part of the amendment just talks about the eligibility. I mentioned about the closing the plan, and then if you elect to do the transfer, you're no longer in the pension plan. So that covers all the eligibility of who is no longer in the plan going forward. And the section 2 is dealing with participation. It tells them instead of those same employees who are no longer eligible will participate in a defined contribution plan. And then the section 3 here on page 2 is the transfer, how the transfer is determined under the pension plan. And what they're given is an actuarial equivalent amount determined under the factors here, which are generally the same factors you use to determine lump sum benefit plan under this plan. And that amount is then would be transferred over to the defined contribution plan once it's set up. And the timing right now is looking like April of 2021 for that transfer to occur. So nothing new, but it's really just to formalize this in the plan document.
Questions for Mr. Emerson? Anybody on the call have questions for Mr. Emerson? Anybody representing the employee group? Ms. Ora, do you have any feedback for us of concerns that might have been expressed during this process, or is it going smoothly enough that we feel good about it?
It's going very smoothly. We've had our meetings. Okay, we've had our meetings, and employees have asked good questions. They've got good direction or good guidance from Nyhart, and everything seems to be going smoothly. They're just waiting on us to decide who the vendor is for the 401A for the county's contribution portion, and we should have that today. I've got to meet with the procurement officer to finalize that, but yeah, we should have that information today.
Fabulous, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Hours, do you have any observations about this?
Mr. Chairman, my observation would be that everything's on track as the board directed us to do, to change to a defined contribution plan. So Mr. Emerson has done an excellent job providing guidance to us, and Lawrence and his team have done an incredible job from an actuarial standpoint, providing us the numbers that we need and also providing the education piece to the employees. So as far as I know, everything's on track per the board's request.
Excellent. Very glad to hear that. Ms. Ora, is this an action item? I think you're muted still.
Yeah, okay, sorry, got it. Yes, we need to vote to recommend this to the board for approval.
Okay, anybody want to make a motion?
Motion to approve.
Yeah, I was muted, so I'll second that.
Okay, as we said before, let's do a voice vote. So this might be a time for everybody to unmute your microphones, and we'll do a yay and a nay. So all those in favor with a yay?
Yay.
Yay. Yay.
Excellent. Are there any nays out there? Anybody need to unmute to say nay? Okay, I think that's passed unanimously. Is that okay with you, Ms. Ora?
That's fine with me, thank you.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. Okay, thanks, Ed, that was terrific. I appreciate you getting that report to us. Next, we have item number 4, the Small, Terry Lynn Small. Consider approving the application for retirement benefits. And I believe, Ms. Orr, you said something about keeping this confidential. Is that what you suggested?
Yes, sir. Since these are benefits that are, that employees are receiving, and we have one that's a permissive service credit. I sent to everyone a spreadsheet. If you click on the tab that says spreadsheet next to number 4, you should see what everyone has selected for their benefit and the amount of the benefit, and then also what the permissive service credit is for. So we would just need to vote on whether or not we approve those benefits or not.
Okay. Makes it clear. Ms. Small, do you have anything to say to us, or anything we need to hear along with that, Ms. Small?
No, Ms. Ora said what I was going to say, so thank you.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So if everybody would click over on the spreadsheet, it's there's what, 7 items on the spreadsheet. I don't know.
Where is that? I don't see the
On your agenda, under item number 4, Bob, at the end of number 4, there's some blue lettering, and one of the lettering says spreadsheet.
All right, wait a minute. What I click on to get back to the
agenda.
The agenda, yes.
If you could just click your backspace button to, if you've been over at what Mr. Emerson was talking about a second ago.
A minute.
And Mr. Chairman, while he's working on that, I'll make a motion to approve the applications for the requirement benefits as presented in the spreadsheet.
Second.
Okay. You back with it, Bob? You're Bob, I think you're muted again.
Okay, got me now?
Okay.
All right, yeah. No, I still don't see which one I'm supposed to be mashing here.
Well, just if you go to the agenda that Ms. Ora sent out to us, it's under item number 4 on the agenda, applications for retirement benefits, followed by blue lettering, retirement benefits spreadsheet. Just click on that.
That's what my problem is. How do I need to get back to that. I'm still on everybody's picture here. How do I get back?
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah, well, that's going to be a problem. Do you have 2 computers there? Do you have a phone that you can look on the agenda and click on that?
Okay. Everybody.
Did you have the agenda up earlier?
Hold on a minute.
Okay.
This is David Kelly. Can I ask one quick operational question?
Sure.
When an employee, is there just a one-time shot at declaring whether to stay in the plan or roll out? Or can someone declare 3 years from now that they want to roll out? I'm just curious if it's a one and done kind of thing or just in continuum.
Yeah, we've set up right now it's a one-time window.
Okay.
That's being offered to anybody who's not fully vested under the pension plan. As of right now, it's just a one-time window.
Okay. One and done. Okay.
That's a good question, though, David. It really is.
Okay.
Well, we have a motion on the floor to accept the applications for retirement benefits. I'll second that motion.
Mr. Howard second.
Oh, did he? Thank you. You're right. My memory is fading here, Ms. Ora. My retention span has gone to about 30 seconds. But so with that being done, everybody unmute your microphone again And we'll take a vote. All those in favor of accepting these applications, give us a yay.
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 Yay or aye. And anybody opposed, say nay. Hearing no nays, that's great. Thank you very much. Let's move on to number 5. Again, Ms. Small, receive the report on lump sum benefits. And you want us to do the same thing to click on report?
Yes, and it's just for informational purposes, so.
Okay. All right, and there's only one item there, Ms. Terrelyn?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that being said, let's move on to number 6. Receive the results of the quarterly death audit report. Again, Ms. Small.
Well, I have not received the report, or did you receive one?
No, but this is on the agenda each month, so by us not receiving a report, there were no findings.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you for that information. We'll move on to number 7. Consider extending the contract with Nyhart for the provision of actuarial services. Ms. Ora.
Yes, as you know, Nyhart is our actuary for the plan. They have been our actuary since January of 2015. They have been instrumental in assisting us in transitioning to the defined contribution plan, and we are recommending that we continue with their services in 2021. In the report, there's a second page to my report that lists their fees for next year, and I think there was only one. I should have marked this. There was only one. There was 2 increases. One increase was for the performance of the actuarial valuation. I think that increased by $500 from $16,000 to $16,005. And then the other increase was for the calculation of benefits. I believe the calculation right now is $275, and that's increased to $300. So our recommendation for 2021 is to remain with Nyhart for the actuarial services.
Ms. Ora, is the increase on the second one, is that the credentialed actuary? And so is it going from 275 to 325, or is it, or am I missing the? No, I see it now. I'm sorry, I was just looking at the wrong line. So.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Anybody else have any questions on retaining Nyhart? I agree with Ms. Ora. They've really been just very responsive and done a great job explaining some relatively difficult concepts to those of us not in the financial services industry, and I very much have appreciated that.
With that said, Mr. Chairman, I would recommend that we extend the contract with Nyhart for the provision of the actuarial services.
Second.
And according to the formal recommendation as printed by Ms. Reed, we're approving a 1-year extension. Is that right, Ms. Ora?
Yes, sir.
Could you put that in there then, Commissioner?
Yes, sir. I make a motion to extend the contract with Nyhart for 1 year for the provision of actuarial services.
Second.
All right. Any further discussion? Anybody on the call want to make questions or issues or difficulties? Okay, everybody unmute your microphone, and all in favor say aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, give me a nay. Lawrence, you've done it again. Unanimous. You carried us on. Great job. Great work. It really has been. So that brings us to number 8. Consider exercising the 2nd-year extension of the contract with Bowen, Haynes & Company for investment management services, exercising the 2nd-year extension of the contract with Synovus Trust for trustee administration services. Ms. Ora.
Yes, thank you. Both Bowen Haynes and Company and Synovus Trust Company have had these services or provided these services for us since January 2019. We're asking for the extension of the contract to 2021. I just saw a mistake in my memo, and that's why I paused there. The rates for Bowen Haynes has increased. I left it at 0.25%, but it's actually 0.27%. So I'll make that correction and get before it goes to the board. And the rate for Synovus Trust Company remains at a cost not to exceed $75,000 per year.
Okay, so the only change is a 0.27% for investment management services. Seems
that's correct. That's
very
correct.
good. Questions for Ms. Reed or for Mr. Kelly or for the Synovus Trust Services? Is Ms. Dean on the call?
Ms. Dean is not on the call, but her counterpart, Rhonda Davis, is, and Rhonda used to service our plan years ago before Paula was our regular everyday provider. So she's on the call if you have any questions for her.
Okay. Floor is open for anybody to question Ms. Davis or Mr. Kelly. It's been a great investment period. I don't see how anybody can do anything but smile about how things have worked out for us. So happy to entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I would recommend that the Board of Commissioners exercise the second-year extension with Bowen Haynes and Company for the provision of investment management services at a rate of 0.27% of the portfolio valuation, and with Synovus Trust Company for the provision of trustee administration services at a cost not to exceed $75,000.
Second.
Okay, floor is open. Anybody have any questions for these wonderful individuals on our call today? Anybody? Okay. Unmute your microphones and let's vote on the motion and the second that was made. All in favor say aye or yay.
Yay.
Aye.
Anybody opposed say nay. Okay, once again, it's carried unanimously. Excellent. Thank you both for your great services through the years. Okay, number 9, approve payment invoices for services from providers. Once again, Ms. Ora.
Yes. So we have several invoices this month. The first invoice is from Bowen Haynes and Company for services rendered for the period of October 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2020 in an amount of $72,611.10. The next invoice is from Synovus Company for Synovus Trust Company for this quarter in the amount of $18,750. The next invoice is from Morris Manning and Martin, LLP, for services rendered through August 31st, 2020 in the amount of $450. The next invoice is from Morris Manning and Martin for services rendered through October 31st, 2020 in the amount of $8,685. The next invoice is from Nyhart for services rendered from August 1st, 2020 to August 31st, 2020 for the total amount is $5,387.50. That's for the preparation of our GASB 67 and 68 report, and for various consulting services relating the transition to the DC plan, and for one benefit calculation. For September 30th, excuse me, services rendered for September 1st through September 30th, 2020, and the amount of $29,090 for consulting services regarding the transition to the DC plan. For services rendered also during the month of September, for benefit calculation, and for services rendered regarding the permissive service credit and GASB disclosures, in the amount of $6,392.50. Invoice for services rendered October 1st, 2020 to October 31st, 2020, in the amount of $25,615 for services rendered regarding the transition to the DC plan. And yeah, that's mainly that for all of the work that they did for the transition. And then the final invoice is for a benefit calculation for $300.
Okay, thank you for going through those items. Anybody have any questions for Ms. Reed about services and invoice amounts? Been a little bit of an unusual period as we've made this transition from the defined benefit to defined contribution, but really appreciate everybody's hard work and help in getting this done. As I said, I think future commissions and will be pleased that we've made this move. Is that an action item, Ms. Ora?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay. So let's all unmute our microphones, and all in favor of approving these payment items signify by saying yay. Isn't that, or do we have to take a motion there, Ora?
Yes, you need a motion. I'm sorry. Yes.
I apologize. But do you want to make a motion to approve?
Do it, Wayne.
All right.
I'll second
I'll
it.
make a motion to approve.
Okay. We have a
Second.
second. Anybody have any questions or issues with these? Okay, everybody unmuted, say aye or yay.
Aye.
Yay.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Any nays? Hearing none, they're all been approved there, Ms. Ora.
Thank you.
Is there anything else on the docket for today?
No, sir, there's nothing else.
Okay. Anybody
Item
have-
10 there, Mr. Chairman, do we need to make sure that we're sending something that was up there that the commission will need to approve Thursday night?
Right, I
Yes.
believe it's Mr. Emerson's amendments, correct, Ora?
Yes, the amendments need to go, and then the contracts, the contract with Nyhart and the contract with Bowen Haynes and Company and Synovus.
Okay, very good. Anything else anybody sees that we need to send up to the next Board of Commissioners meeting? Okay, so you'll make that happen, Ms. Ora?
I will.
Anybody have any comments, concerns, observations? Hearing none, I call this meeting adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody, and thanks everybody, all our consultants, and Ms. Ora, Ms. Small, everybody that's worked so hard in getting us to this point in our transition. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you,
Right.
everybody.